is now going to be recorded, so that in fact if you want to pass this on to any of your colleagues or branches, then you can do. So just a quick welcome for those of you that don't know me. I'm Sally Swan, and I've been at Much Loved since 2007, and we launched the service in 2006. So I'm the partnerships manager here, and I head up our accounts team, who manage all of our funeral director partners. So I'm sure I've kind of met or spoken to a lot of you already before. So manage our funeral director partners teams, and also our charity partners, of which we've got about 200 now. My colleague Richard, who I don't know where he is on the screen, but he's next to me there, has been with us for about 5 years. And I'm sure if you haven't met me, you've probably spoken to Richard. And Richard's been helping us build our portfolio of funeral director partners over the last 5 years. So I just also wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all, really, because for using our service, because as I'm sure you're aware, this is a particularly difficult time for a lot of the charities that we're working with. They've had a lot of budgets cut, and the donations that are coming through our service, so they're in-memory donations, are actually incredibly crucial to them at this time. So thank you very much for sort of you doing your bit in a way. I've now booked this out for an hour, but I think you'll be pleased to hear I may be able to give you some of your day back, because I think in reality it's probably going to take us about 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on how many questions there are this morning. Any questions, please do use the chat box. I know a couple of people have already said good morning, but if you use that rather than the Q&A, it just means that absolutely everyone can see it. And if you just make sure that you click to panelists and attendees, then everyone can see any questions coming in. And feel free to just pop your question in when it comes into your mind. As I said, it's going to be quite a short session. So actually, if you've got anything that you want to ask Richard or myself that isn't related to the session, what we're running today, then please feel free to ask. You know, we're happy to answer any questions on the service. So we're just going to quickly share a little slide with you, actually, before we move on. So the idea about these sessions are that they are just short, bite-sized sessions, drilling down on certain aspects of our service. So this morning, we're going to be talking about creating QR codes and sending SMS texts with tribute details. So it's all about sort of how to kind of promote the tribute details and get more of your families and their friends and relatives using the service. But first, I just wanted to quickly share with you some facts and figures. So obviously over the last 10 months, we have seen a phenomenal increase in the usage of our service. And that's thanks to you guys for setting up more tribute pages, but also to handing over more of them to your families, because obviously their usual bereavement rituals aren't in place. People can't come together, they can't have a cuddle or a cup of tea. And actually, so I think that's a knock-on effect, is why we're seeing the increase in usage in our service. So not just in terms of donations, where the increase has been fairly phenomenal, but also, you know, in the number of candles being lit, gifts being left. So we launched virtual gifts in March, and it's just completely taken off. And for the last couple of months, we've seen a massive increase. You know, the number of photos that people are putting on tribute pages, and videos for that matter, and thoughts and stories, and all the other functionality that's available to your families, we've seen a huge increase. So thank you very much for kind of handing those over to the families so that they can benefit from the additional functionality and the sort of bereavement benefits of the pages. I also wanted to just tell you, we've got 5,000 charities listed on our service, which is a lot. And we are adding to that list daily. So we probably get about sort of 25 to 30 extra charities or charitable causes added to our service on a daily rate. So I'm sure you all know, but if you can't find the charity that you're looking for, then you just get this little pop-up box which appears when you're creating your funeral notice. And if you can't find what you're looking for, then do click where it says click here to add its details, complete the form. We then get a message in the office and we work through them, adding them on, making sure that they're kind of kosher, checking their credentials, and then we'll add them onto the tribute for you. So bear with us, because it can take us a couple of hours just to get that sort of set up. So I'm now going to hand over to Richard to talk us through what we are here to learn about this morning. So hopefully Richard's going to take over my screen and share his screen with you.
Yeah, let's see if this all works seamlessly, just like it has in all our practice sessions. Not. Okay, so let me just going to remove Sally's screen, and you should now be seeing my screen here. So what we're looking at is a screen that should be pretty familiar to most of you. I know there's a couple of sort of new partners on board, so might not know this screen just yet, but this is your partner where all the pages are created and managed from. The QR coding is the functionality is found within here. This is just a sort of demo page or demo partner area that we have. We're going to base today's little demonstration on this tribute here to Mr. Hislop. I'm just going to open up the page just to show you sort of what the page obviously looks like, and talk about a little bit about the functionality that is within here for families. Because obviously we talk at length about the donate function, but it's all this other functionality that sits behind the page that we've really seen a huge increase of use as well. Lots of pictures being added, lots of virtual gifts and people lighting candles. And currently, with the restrictions in place, these are proving to be extremely valuable resource for people. Also, just wanted to draw to your attention, actually, and some of you may or may not be aware, but in the funeral notice, you can add sort of web links. And in this case, I've added an Invictus link, but it could well be Wesley Media. And it just allows people to sort of click on that link to actually be taken to the appropriate webcast facility. So if you don't know about that, or you want to know how to do that, then sort of get in touch. After the session, we can run you through how to do that. It's very straightforward. We're getting back to today. I'm just going to close this tribute page down. Today we're focusing on the QR code and SMS messaging. To get to the QR code section, we do need to visit the settings of the page. So I'm going to click on Daniel's settings here, which is always on the right hand side. And within the funeral notice section, you'll find this particular wonderful tongue twister, social sharing, so forgive me, where you've always been able to share on Facebook and Twitter. And in about the last 18 months, you can now get a QR code and also share via SMS. People are sort of fairly familiar with QR codes as a result of what's been happening recently. To get the QR code, simply just click generate QR code, get QR code, and it will take you to the QR code page. And in fact, if you've got your mobile phones handy, you might want to just see if this actually works. If you're using Android, I think you can just point your camera if you're using Android 7 or above, or your iPhone should work fairly seamlessly. In this case, with the QR code will take you directly to the underlying tribute page, the Much Love page, but more often than not, it will direct people to your website, to your funeral listings page, and people will be able to search for the page there. That also has sort of the additional benefits of the additional web traffic. You can download in either a PNG format or a JPEG format, depending on what you would prefer, and you can simply download the QR code and save it to any particular location. We do have the facility to put your, if everyone's peering pretty quite closely at the screen now, your company logo into the QR code. There is one caveat here, in so much as it can make the QR code a little bit more difficult to read. So do test that first before you use that. But hopefully you'll be able to all sort of have a quick look at that and be taken to Daniel's page. So we go back to Daniel's tribute settings, and we can talk briefly about the SMS service. SMS, obviously, it's been around for forever and a day now, the short messaging service. And And it's a way of sharing the page, predominantly, I guess now via WhatsApp, a convenient way of sharing the page. To do so, it is as simple as clicking the share via SMS. I'm just going to try to, and if I had a mobile number, which I don't have, I was going to quickly put my one in. And this will send the link to myself. The message here, this can all be personalized as everything within Much Loved. And you can see that the page will be sent. All you do is simply click send. And you'll see that it's currently in a queue just whilst it's going through our servers. And in a moment or two, with a bit of luck, if I turn my microphone up, you might hear a little ping on my phone, although I've actually put my phone on mute, but trust me, it has been delivered. So that's QR code and SMS, how to generate it. It really is that simple. I'm sure I've missed out a few bits. We'll go back to the settings. So what are the applications of the QR code? Well, it can be put on the back of an order of service, and people can use that to scan. We're also seeing it used at the service at the crematorium, where it's being printed out in slightly larger format, and people sort of sharing it that way. But I think in terms of immediate functionality, that's kind of it for now. We've got a little bit more to show you. Sally, do you want me to quickly jump into the I mean, one thing I will stress, and if I've spoken to any of you individually, do please contact the support number at the bottom. It's at the bottom of every page. But also, we now have a link within Manage to our Funeral Director support page. If I click on Manage, you can come down to Training and Support. And there's all our functionality there. We have a search function at the top, so if you need to find anything, you can always find it. But if you just want to investigate how you can do a little bit more with Much Loved, or just getting started, or you want to meet the team, just simply click on any of these links. Sort of information you can find in here are sort of fairly vanilla things. Adding a funeral location, this will take you to some videos that we've got, all the way down to adding the QR code, which we were just talking about today. But any problems, any questions and queries, you can always contact the support team. They're there to take your call. I think that's kind of it for me at the moment. Sally, over to you.
Yeah, Mark has just asked a question if you can SMS to a group. So you can only send it to one mobile number, but obviously they can then really easily cut and paste the message and pop it into a family or a friend's WhatsApp group. So it's a really great way to be able to distribute the information. And the other thing to say is some of you may have our widgets set up on your websites, which would direct the individual to the information directly on your website, whereas the example that we've got on here is taking the individual directly to the actual underlying tribute page. But so depending on how you've got your system set up, if you've got our tribute details widget on your website, it will take them to the information on your website. So it's a great opportunity to potentially pull them back to your website. So somebody else has just asked me if the service is free. Yeah, absolutely. SMS is it's our charge, not your charge. So yeah, you can use it as much as you like as far as we are concerned, and there's no cost to use the QR code either. So just a couple of things to reiterate on the QR code. Just do double check that it's working before you download it. When you download it, it will save with the name of the deceased, so whatever you've set the tribute name up as, it will save it as that. And you've got two file formats, PNG, JPEG. They're both sort of standard picture files, and you can just save them onto your desktop and then upload them and place them into your order of service.
It might be worth, again, if you were sort of fumbling around for your phone, just maybe give these ones a try. and you can see sort of where you get taken directly to his page. And in fact, most of you probably, I suspect, have just seen the functionality on a PC whilst you're creating the pages. Also, all our tributes are all mobile friendly, and all the functionality within the pages are all mobile friendly. You can sort of investigate that now if you wish.
Yeah, and Jason just popped in the chat box that it's good to put them onto the order of service. I think that's a great idea. I would maybe put a little explanation as to what it's going to take the person to just, you know, QR codes have been more readily used over the last 10 months, but I think for some people they are still relatively new. So yeah, so I would put a little explanation. Excellent. So if there's any other questions, please do pop them in the chat box. If there are any subjects that you would like us to cover in future, like I said, we'll be running these on a regular basis now that we've discovered how easy it is to get them set up. So yeah, any particular sort of areas that you would like us to cover, then please do get in touch. I'll just share Richard and I's contact details. I'm sure the majority of you have got them already, but those are our contact details, or you can just email support, and the details for our support are in your partner area. So,
and if anyone's got any sort of queries or questions that they don't want to ask on this session, yeah, you know, ping me an email today, give me a call, and we can chat about that afterwards.
Brilliant. Great. Well, I told you I'd be able to give you some of your day back, so I think I've achieved that. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and hopefully we shall see you at our next session. So thanks very much, everybody.
Final shout for any questions?
Oh, somebody's asked if this recording will be on our website. I will send it out to everybody who's registered, so you're very welcome to distribute it to your colleagues in that way. There is some help files on the support website, which will talk you through this service as well. So
there's a question there from Anita, who missed the start of the training. This session has been recorded, Anita, so you will be able to view that. We'll make sure that you get a copy.
Somebody else has asked, I can't keep up with them.
So the code, so from Wendy Price, the code can only be sent to one person at a time. You can download the QR code, and it can be sent to as many people as you wish. The SMS is one at a time, and that's to provide the control to the initial person that's gets sent that SMS. It's not up to us to decide what audience that should be. It's up to the recipient, up to the next of kin to whom that should be sent on to.
Great. Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, I'm just say thank you very much for attending today, and hopefully we'll see you later in the month or next month for an additional session. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you all, goodbye.